she's grabbed by a man who then claims to be saving her life by not letting her interfere. And he's probably right. Probably would have been a massive irrational decision that would have likely resulted in her getting killed. But she's pretty pissed at him for stopping her. And this scene immediately seriously reminded me of Poppy and Hawk and the banter that they had in From Blood and Ash, and how Poppy would always try to stab him when he deserved it. And it was just like, that's really funny. History repeats itself in this way. But then, like, if things weren't awkward enough, they have to look like they're getting it on in the alleyway now to avoid being seen by the other three gods. And so he's like, okay, let's pretend to kiss, like, whatever. Like, he's like, kiss me, kiss me. And she does. And then they start really liking it. Things start to heat up, and she, like, bites his lower lip. And this is when she mentions that he tastes woodsy and smoky like whiskey, which also, again, reminds us of how Poppy would describe Castile tasting like pine and stuff like that. So, little interesting similarities there. So, Sera ends up with a minor bleeding lip, oopsies, from their super hot makeout session. And he ends up sucking the blood from her fingertip. Originally, I wondered if this was somehow going to be tied to the whole, like, Atlanteans thing, like how they need blood. But it turns out it's something much more important and different than that, which we'll dive into later. So just a breadcrumb that most people probably originally overlooked like we did, but it's clear later something happens with that. And then he also makes it clear now that while he's very good at pretending, he was not pretending when he was kissing her, which you're like, hi, hello, that's pretty hot. And it's an important reminder that he struggles to pretend with her, no matter what he might actually say otherwise. He's very into it.
He's very into it. Well, and I wish she would remember that later in the book when, he's acting like he doesn't care for her. And I'm like, he can't pretend with you. He already told you that.
Yeah. Just look at his pants. He can't pretend.
Right? He can't.
Yeah.
So when Sera walks away from him, she gets this feeling like it feels wrong, which then makes me wonder, like, are they fated mates somehow, or is this another heartmate situation? And then she says, like, she's going to compare every future kiss to that one. I'm like, why are you leaving? And I wanted to scream at her, like, when Poppy leaves Hawk at the Red Pearl, I'm like, why are we leaving?
Yeah, I'm like, just enjoy a makeup. Keep going. Like, why not?
Exactly.
Why'd you walk away?
She doesn't.
I know.
But just like Poppy would do, she doesn't go home. Nope. She's like, I'm going to go investigate the murders. Like, have we not learned our lesson? Clearly we have not.